44% of Republicans can f*** off. New, 44% of Republicans can eat shit.
44% of Republicans think we should just have to accept mass shootings per CBS poll. That is horrifying.
In a new poll, 44% of Republicans say that mass shootings are something we need to learn to live with to remain in a free country. I hope those same simple keep that energy and learn to live with abortion so women can have freedom over their own damn bodies in this country. 44% of Republicans shrug.
44% of Republicans value guns and their NRA blood money more than they value the lives of children.
When I saw 44% of Republicans trending, I thought it was something like, think Jesus wrote the Constitution. But no, it's way worse.
New CBS News poll shows that 44% of Republicans say Americans have to accept mass shootings as being part of a free society. This ain't freedom. Freedom is sending your kids to school to learn, not get shot, to get groceries, not get shot, to go out dancing, not get shot.
44% of Republicans think we need to accept mass shootings. This is the same party that says that they will strip healthcare away from over 165 million people with pre-existing medical conditions if they take back Congress. Do you really want these morons running the country again?
If you guys like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Also consider subscribing so you don't miss any of my videos.
Even if mass shootings directly affect 44% of Republicans recently polled who say they accept them, they will still not vote for gun safety. Look at this member of Congress who survived gunshot wounds playing ball.
Are these the same 44% of Republicans that believe women should just lie back and accept being raped too? They call the Democrats the submissive party, but these f***ers are the ones telling people that they should just have to accept it. F*** that. Don't ever accept a mass shooting.
We don't accept murder, robbery, rape, theft, assaults, or any other violent and non-violent crimes. Why do 44% of Republicans say mass shootings should be accepted?
According to a CBS News poll, 44% of Republicans say that Americans just have to accept mass shootings. What the f*** is wrong with them?
44% of Republicans say Americans should accept mass shootings, while 100% of me says Republicans should f*** themselves.
In a new CBS News poll, 44% of Republicans say that Americans just have to accept mass shootings. We need to vote out at least 44% of the GOP, maybe more. 44% of Republicans think we need to learn to live with mass shootings, just like we needed to learn to live with COVID, and we need to learn to live with poverty, and we need to learn to live with no accountability for GOP criminals, and climate change, and oppression. Counterpoint, f*** that. 44% of Republicans say we should just accept mass shootings as part of living in a free society? Explain to me, like I'm 5 years old, how this is pro-life.
44% of Republicans say that mass shootings are just something we should live with, while 100% of me says that's bullshit.
44% of Republicans feel we just need to accept mass shootings, which means 44% of Republicans are okay with school children being shot and killed. While 44% of Republicans say we must accept mass shootings, we can lament about this and bash them for it and give up the gun reform fight, or we can acknowledge that 44% of Republicans is about 10% of all Americans and realize we have the vast majority on this issue and fight to win it. Hold up! 44% of Republicans say we have to accept mass shootings? Are you f***ing kidding me? One death is too many. 44% of Republicans should be in prison. The rest can kiss my ass. 44% of Republicans believe that mass shootings are unfortunately something we have to accept as part of a free society, per recent CBS poll. I'm sorry, but living with the threat of random mass violence isn't freedom. 44% of Republicans say you should learn to accept kids being gunned down in their classrooms.
Can you imagine if after 9/11 the government said we weren't going to do anything because terrorism is the price you pay for freedom? That seems to be what 44% of Republicans are telling us regarding gun legislation. That's pretty damn sick.
44% of Republicans say mass shootings are just something we have to accept in a free society. The GOP is telling you point blank that they care more about access to AR-15s than with saving lives. They are not pro-life, they are pro-selfish. 44% of Republicans don't care if their children or grandchildren die in a mass shooting, or yours. 44% of Republicans think mass shootings should be accepted as part of a free society. How free of a society do you have when you fear going to school or the food store?
44% of Republicans are selfish f***ing assholes who don't care about kids' safety in school. The other 56 need to speak up because 100% of us are sick of it.
44% of Republicans are more than happy to let thousands of kids die pointlessly every year from guns if it means they can continue to cosplay violent fantasies of legally murdering burglars, government officials, and political enemies. And 44% of Republicans are some sorry SOBs. 44% of Republicans believe we just have to learn to live with mass shootings. This is from the people that belong to the pro-life party. The 44% of Republicans saying mass shootings are something we just have to accept are the same ones supporting stripping women of their right to choose. 44% of Republicans saying mass shootings are something we'll have to accept is like a rapist telling a victim to lay back in a joint. We don't, we won't, and f*** you. 44% of Republicans say mass shootings are something we have to accept to live in a free society. Republicans are 27% of the population, so less than 13% of the population has decided mass shootings are acceptable for all of us. Now imagine if we lived in a democracy.
In other words, 44% of Republicans, the pro-life party, say that child sacrifice is acceptable as long as they get to keep having stuff.
Something to keep in mind when you read something like this. 44% of Republicans comprise about 13.5% of the total voter population. 13.5% of voters think this. Media has to stop amplifying these f***ing idiots.
44% of Republicans. I bet they consider themselves pro-life too.
Let's not forget, 44% of Republicans have an IQ less than 80. According to the percentages given, 44% of Republicans make up less than 15% of the population, which means that our Republicans make up less than 30. We can, literally, be rid of the minority rule in a single election cycle, but only if you, 70%, get out and vote.
44% of Republicans believe we just have to live this, while the majority continues to be hijacked by an extremist minority.
Justin, according to a CBS News poll, 44% of Republicans have decided Americans have to accept their children being shot to death in schools.
44% of Republicans say that we should just have to accept mass shootings as a reality. I don't think they get to call themselves pro-life anymore.
44% of Republicans are in a psycho death cult. 44% of Republicans think mass shootings should be accepted as part of a free society. In other news, 44% of Republicans can go f*** themselves.
And so do they feel powerless, or do people believe they can do something about it?
The good news is people think this is preventable. You get big majorities that say it can be stopped, it can be prevented, and it's not something that we have to accept. Now, there is a quarter who says that, unfortunately, this may be something that we have to accept in a free society, and I do want to point out some partisan difference here. There is bipartisan view that it can be prevented, but there are 4 in 10 Republicans who do say that it may be something we have to accept, and that partisan difference is going to cut through a lot of this, Margaret. Now, I do want to say that when we ask people why they think that the U.S. has so many unfortunate mass shootings, the availability of guns comes out as a top answer, but not the only answer. People point to things like mental health issues, the influence of violence in the culture. So it is a range, and that is important. But I do want to look at this idea of the availability of guns, because the numbers who say that gun laws should generally become more strict is up in recent weeks. It's up since the tragedy in Buffalo to 60% now. And then when you look again at what people think is causing this and what might be a way forward, well, the number who think that the U.S. would be safer if fewer people had guns, it does outweigh the number who say that they think things would be safer if everyone or more people had guns. But this is a mix, and it comes